We open a position for $100 to go down for 2 minutes. And note that this is my entire balance. Now let's take a detailed look at this position and see what's actually happening on the chart. I'll also give you a live tour of my personal scalping trades and strategies, which you can try out yourself after watching this video. But it's important to watch it until the end to fully understand all the details of the strategy and learn how to use them correctly. Let's switch to the screen and start discussing in more detail what's happening with this trade. Let's move the chart back a little. We're currently looking at the 1 minute time frame, and we've seen a small but very clear downward price movement forming right here. Let's highlight this specific area on our chart so we can see the trend more clearly. So what exactly did we just do? We opened a position following the trend after a small correction, right? That is, we periodically see a correction to the resistance level like we did here, and then the price moves down. There was a similar touch here. Here we had a second touch, and now a third touch is happening. So after the price touches the resistance level for the third time, there is a high probability that this pattern will continue. That's exactly why the position was opened for a downward move. Let's wait for the result of the trade, see how it ends, and then we'll continue. Today I decided to start with a balance of $100 and enter the first trade with the entire amount to show you in this so-called hard mode how things really happen. So today it's kind of an experiment for myself. We'll be taking high-risk positions, I'll say that right away, and that's why sometimes we'll end up in profit by just a few points, as will probably happen in this trade. So our trade closes in profit, $92 of net profit, but we entered literally just a few points. Actually, we still have some room to work here, yes. So we immediately opened the same trade for $50 going down, also for 2 minutes, because the situation hasn't played out yet and hasn't really shown its potential, right? Because the movement should go down after breaking through the resistance level. And right now, this breakout is happening, and you can see how the price is breaking through our conditional resistance level at this very moment. And after that, according to our pattern that we discussed earlier, there is a downward movement. That's exactly what we're waiting for. Now we need to wait for the result of this trade, and then we'll analyze other situations. And today we're focusing specifically on scalping, where we look for positions in the moment and open trades with short expirations literally within the next 5 minutes. By the way, for those who don't know, you can join our friendly trading community for free via the link in the description below this video and learn trading together with professionals. You also get the opportunity to use a unique product for beginner traders absolutely free of charge. So follow the link, and after watching this video, be sure to subscribe. We have literally 5 seconds left until the trade is completed. Again, yes, we can already see the movement that was supposed to be very strong, and right now it is exactly that. But at this moment, our balance is no longer $100, but $238, right? So in this moment, we've made a very good profit to our deposit. So I suggest we analyze some other situations and accordingly work through them in more detail. In principle, you could have traded here as well. So if you see, yes, a situation like this, then go ahead and work here confidently. But don't forget about the rules of risk and money management. Let's take a look at some currency pairs together. Let's pick, yes, some interesting situation. For example, right now we have the euro dollar, an absolutely terrible situation in which I wouldn't recommend anyone to trade, yes. That is, there's some unclear minor sideways movement here, which will most likely lead to a loss in your account. Let's take the next pair and find something better, something more appealing. And right here, we can actually work through a similar scenario. Let's try entering a 2-minute trade for a decrease. In any case, we have a balanced reserve. If anything, we'll make up for it with the next trades if this one ends up in the red. What's happening here? Here we have the same downward movement. It hasn't been going on for very long, and it's exactly on this kind of movement that we should be catching trades like this. Let me mark this movement for you now. We also have a sort of resistance range here, right, which currently gives us an understanding of the positions, and the price periodically reaches it and bounces off. Right now, we're seeing a very good touch, which should result in a profitable trade. But again, we also add the MACD indicator, and its readings are actually inconsistent. The parabolic SAR indicator isn't giving us the information we need at all right now. So let's replace it with the Keltner Channel indicator. Overall, I think yes, it can be useful. By the way, the Keltner Channel is a set of dynamic support and resistance levels. At certain moments, especially in some scalping strategies like the one we're using today, you can catch these kinds of moves from resistance to support. So literally within this channel, we could have made, I don't know, about 3 trades. Let me draw it out for you and show you where you could have opened a position. Here we had the first touch, then there was a second touch at the support level, and on the second touch at the resistance level, we could have opened a short position. After that, the price confirmed the support. Here, we would have taken a long position. and so on. Yes, in other words, we could have continued until the trade turned negative. For example, somewhere around here, the position might have already closed at a loss and we would have stopped trading within this channel. That's why you should never be afraid. Even in situations like this, yes, when the price shoots up, so to speak, to the skies, we increase the trade amount and now we are going to work off our loss. Because we have a loss on the $50 position, we are increasing the trade amount as part of our current strategy, yes, the scalping strategy, and opening another trade because I am confident in this signal and the price really should, one way or another, bounce off the resistance level here. But such breakouts are possible. Be prepared for them. In fact, after 6 years in trading, I've seen all sorts of things and none of this scares me anymore. But for beginners, yes, if you're a beginner and watching this, I think a green streak like that going against you could really scare you. You might start to get nervous, freak out, and possibly make the wrong decision. So in such situations, when you are confident in the signal, the best decision is really to use a recovery trade, meaning to increase the trade amount and open a trade in the same direction to cover the loss from the previous trade and come out ahead. And right now in practice, I hope I'll be able to show you how this works. So we should now wait for the result of this trade, and if everything goes well, we'll move on to look at other situations and see what the market has for us today. This really is a live video. I wanted to record a trading session for you in real time under tough conditions so you understand that overall there's nothing to be afraid of. In trading, there are all kinds of situations, including difficult ones, and it's important to know how to handle them, yes. Just like in everyday life, it's important to find ways to solve problems. You shouldn't try to run away from a failure or try to forget about it. You need to take it into your own hands and solve it, even if it's very difficult. So what do we have here? We have a red candle forming and there are literally 5 seconds left. And overall, yes, we're locking in a profit. Great. So we're back to the previous balance, considering that the position did end up in the red. So we'll start opening positions of $50 again. And probably we'll look for another situation because this currency pair is showing increased volatility. Yes, due to the fact that we saw such a green spike, so to speak. Let's browse through the currency pairs and see what we have today. So the Keltner Channel indicator is now overall most likely giving us a very good signal. Let's confirm it with the help of us. When a dot appears above the chart here, most likely we will open a position, and for the expiration time, or rather the trade duration, we'll set it to 1 minute since we are working on the M1 time frame. And right now it would be more logical to open really short positions. Obviously not for 30 seconds, but I think 1 minute would actually work very well overall. By the way, maybe that's why our $50 position ended up in the red. If we had opened the trade with the right expiration, we would have made a profit on that trade. There's a touch, let's give it a try. We have a touch, let me even draw it out for you. Yeah, this whole movement. What do we have here? We have a Keltner channel, right? There's a conditional line. All right, I'll try to draw more carefully. There is a conditional resistance line, right? And a conditional line, more precisely, here it's resistance, and below we have support, so the price moves between them here. According to the Keltner channel indicator, we've just touched the resistance level indicated by the indicator. I'll repeat myself again. If there are any professional traders watching this video, please don't be too hard on me. After all, this is a scalping strategy, so keep that in mind. And here we work with what we have. We won't be able to find perfect patterns or perfect ranges or levels here. Our main goal here is to extract as much profit from the market as possible in a short period of time. We had a small unpleasant jump, just like with that other currency pair. That's why I'm still confident in the signal, and we're doubling the trade amount again. Let's also open a position for a downward move. I'm confident in this downward movement, and I really think it should happen. So we've opened another position. So the price periodically moves in cycles from one place to another. What can I tell you here? We have a range here. This kind of range, let me mark it for you, in which the price is currently moving as well. And actually, it would probably make more sense to trade based on this range. Yes, indeed, we touched this range and the price left a wick here. Yes, beyond the boundary of this range. In fact, it's even lower. Here it is. And after that, according to the logic of price movement, according to the book, so to speak, according to certain rules, the price really should go down. And in fact, that's exactly what it did. We lock in a profit on the trade and our balance is already $309. Well, these are the kinds of strategies and lots of other useful information that I share with you on my YouTube channel, so you can subscribe and learn trading together with me. I try to explain everything to you in the simplest terms and with straightforward examples. So if you're a beginner, you found exactly what you were looking for. Subscribe and don't forget to leave a like. And just like that, today we were able to add $209 to our balance. No calculator needed. Considering that the balance was $100 at the start of trading, in just 10 minutes of a live trading session in scalping mode, let's call it hard mode, we managed to make 3 times our initial deposit, 3 times in 10 minutes. And you saw it all for yourselves. Yes, we really did have some losing trades. Yes, we also had some winning trades. In other words, trading always implies that some positions may end up in the red, but you can use the same tools that I just gave you. You can take out protective trades, hedges, when you increase the trade amount if you are confident in the signal, and accordingly we take it, increase the trade amount, and in this way we recover the loss from the previous trade. So we started with $100, and at the moment we are recording a balance of $309. And thank you all very much for watching. There are more similar videos on my YouTube channel. Don't forget about that, so leave a like and subscribe. I wish you good luck in the market.